And just so everybody knows, the hurricane as it came through, we lost power, but we weren't, our particular home area wasn't flooded, but around us has been. So, but we're all good.
We are. And thank you for everybody checking on us. So, on with the show.
Oh, I'm with it.
Ice Pick Bandit. You sent me that.
I did.
I mean, this is insane. This guy. We're gonna go into like it again, and I'm gonna make a video, and I'll make one for the YouTube channel and one for the Facebook channel, one for the TikTok channel. I'm gonna help really catch this guy. It's really ticking me off. I mean it. The picture though of this guy, you could tell it's the same guy that was caught. Remember when he had the hat on in Georgia? They had the picture of this guy. I guess he had just flattened all 18 wheels on a flatbed off of one of the get-off ramps.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they got him in Tennessee. Was it Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he did like 25 trucks.
Yeah.
In one night. And even one of those trucks had a car carrier.
Mm-hmm.
And he flattened all the cars on the car carrier.
Right.
This guy is a jackass. I mean, he's a real freaking thorn in everybody's side. And, the problem is truckers are taking it for granted, thinking, oh, it's not going to happen to me.
Right. Well, he's moving Tennessee and Arkansas. So he's got off of the Georgia, Florida, and now he's moving, for whatever reason, over. So that's a perfect example of the fact that he's not from that whatever city areas that were on 75 there in Florida and Georgia. He's someone that does travel. He's not just right there.
So he's one of two. He's got money to travel around and do this, or he's a trucker himself. Okay. And to me now, remember the speculation was, okay, he's pissed off because maybe something happened with a semi-truck, blah, blah, blah. But maybe, just maybe, he's a trucker traveling around and he's just got this infatuation of being in the media.
Who knows? I mean, people can do the strangest things. I mean, women do strange things, men do strange things just for attention or for, whatever weirdness that's inside them. I don't know how to word it,
Weirdness is probably good. The other thing that's kind of upsetting, I'm calling his picture the Bigfoot picture. Have you ever noticed, like, when people go, oh, we got another photo of the Sasquatch, and it's always fuzzy, and you can't really see it? Okay? Well, every picture they have of this guy, I guess it's a night camera, and they're not the best. And it kind of reminds me of when people allegedly get the Bigfoot picture. Well, this guy, you could see, I think you can make out, I think if people that know him see the picture can go, oh, that's blah, blah. Wow, wow. Or somebody might look at it and go, that kind of looks like my neighbor. Mm-hmm. The guy that drives the tractor trailer? Mm-hmm. I wonder if we should say something. And then the wife goes, yeah, and what if you're wrong? Yeah, what if you're wrong?
It's the wife saying that.
Yeah. What if you're wrong? Then you're gonna offend him, and he's our neighbor. Guys, listen, be anonymous and call it in. If you think that it's a guy report him. Mm-hmm. He needs to go down. You know what? He's at the point now where he's looking at a big prison sentence.
Oh yeah, I mean that's if he ends up getting caught by the police itself, not by a trucker or someone that's going to take more of their frustration and anger out on him. I mean, he's changed. He's becoming public enemy number one.
So, are you saying like if he gets caught by a bunch of truckers, they might break out like
they're going to go Full Metal Jacket on the guy?
Oh wow, a 55-gallon drum of whoop ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
Actually, I kind of believe what you're saying, and I would implore everybody out there to take a good look at this guy's picture. And I'm going to tell you something else. It wouldn't be a bad idea if truck stops started, if people didn't, print these pictures out and ask the truck stops if you could hang them at the truck stops, in the shops, in the truck stops, at the truck washes, even at the local rest areas. Put this guy's picture up and let's see if somebody will recognize him, and let's catch this guy. I'm telling you, we need to really get it out there.
You can always get the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And, they have those plastic sleeves you could put documents and stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
And they're usually going like a 3-ring binder, but you can get them and you can seal them with the clear, like the packing tape, and tape them to the diesel pumps. That way, when you're pumping your fuel, you're going to constantly be seeing that person before you park or something to that effect, so that you can keep him fresh in your mind. Because I'm one of these people that I might remember certain faces, but unless I see it enough times, I'm really not going to get a good picture of it constantly, to where I can bring it up even.
Yeah, I agree. I think it needs to be in front of everybody constantly. And this guy, if you think about it, right, that picture of him is exactly the same picture. It is the guy that they had on the night picture in Georgia when he flattened a few truckers' tires off the off-ramps. He 100% is brazen. He's not trying to change the way he looks in any way. It's the same guy. So I would just get his picture and get it out there, put it on all the pumps, put it at the truck stops, put it everywhere in trucker land so that people see who this guy is. And maybe we can just catch this guy and put him away. He needs to go to prison. Moving on.
I agree. Moving on.
Yes. Let's take a break and we'll be right back.
Attention trucking companies and truck drivers. If you need help with cash flow, we've got help on the way. Turn to Tab Bank, the bank that knows trucking. Tab Bank has been in the business of helping truck drivers and trucking companies with their cash flow needs for 25 years. It's just that simple. It's what they do. But they don't stop there. Tab Bank helps grow your business with their invoice, factoring, and banking services. What a plus that is. Before you book your next load, play it safe and contact Tab Bank to get their help with your factoring needs. Tab Bank helps determine the credit worthiness of your customers, as well as billing and collection efforts on invoices that you factor with them. Let the experts at Tab Bank get you cash quickly for the loads you deliver. Again, it's what they do. Visit tabbank.com/talkcdl to learn more. That's tabbank.com/talkcdl. Tab Bank, member FDIC.
If you're a driver looking for a new trucking job, check out NCI. NCI offers the following: new Kenworth T680s, competitive wages, solo, team, and students welcome, plus a full benefit package for you and your family. Check them out today at 888-311-7076. That's 888-7076. And tell them Talk CDL sent you. Drivers, if you're looking for a local, home, everyday driving job, apply with Carter Lumber today. They have positions for Class A and Class B local drivers. They can take experienced drivers, students, and non-CDL drivers. With over 160 locations, chances are they have a position for you. So go to carterlumber.com/talkcdl and apply today. Again, that's carterlumber.com/talkcdl. Thank you. Truck Parking Club is a network of instantly reservable daily and monthly truck parking locations throughout the U.S. Truck Parking Club helps connect truckers to truck parking locations throughout the U.S. via truckparkingclub.com. Our networks is made up of property owners that have locations adequate for truck parking to list on the platform. This includes trucking companies, storage companies, CDL schools, trailer leasing companies, real estate investors, truck parking operators, and more. Go to truckparkingclub.com today.
All right, we're back. Before we get to our main topic, which is, by the way, truckers getting hurt, around trucks. You had sent me a article on people that are non-citizens getting their CD. Or actually, Oregon has given the okay for non-citizens to get their Class A CDL. In fact, it says right here, FMCSA waives CDL citizenship proof requirement in Oregon. Let me see here. Let me get to the article. It's interesting the way this is working out. Gosh, thought I had it all ready to go, and of course, here it is. The Oregon Department of Transportation in June requested a waiver from the proof of citizenship CDL requirements to be allowed to issue standard commercial learners permits, CLPs, and CDLs rather than issuing non-domiciled CLPs and CDLs to citizens freely associated states, FAS it's called, all right? It says, who now reside in Oregon and wish to obtain a CDL. Now, here's what it says. The FAS are the federal states of Micronesia, the Republic of Marshall Islands, and the Republic of Palau, Palau. All right. It's interesting the way they're doing this. It says, under agreements between the U.S. and the FAS, citizens of the FAS may enter the United States as non-immigrants, and without obtaining a visa, they may remain in and work in the country indefinitely. The exemption also allows Oregon to accept a valid, unexpired passport issued by an FAS and an arrival departure record, meaning an I-94A form to prove that the individual has entered the United States lawfully. So that they're coming in according to lawfully, but they're not. They were never made citizens. Okay, and then it says, in making the determination, the FMCSA noted that the Department of Homeland Security allows states to issue full-term real ID licenses and ID cards to citizens of FAS. DHS provides requirements to citizens of FAS to present full proof of lawful permanent residency, such that these individuals may receive real ID credentials, and the exemptions pertains only to proof of lawful permanent. What I don't understand is, how do you get a permanent residency without being a citizen?
Well, and here's another thing that's getting me is did it say that they were coming in only on passports, not getting a work visa? So they're coming in from these other countries and getting jobs, but without a work visa, just with a passport. I'm not understanding that, because as far as I know, anybody that comes in here and wants to work, they have to have a work visa because of the taxes and stuff like that they have to pay. So I'm not understanding that portion of it. To get a permanent residency, I don't know what you have to do that as far as being from somewhere else. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it varies differently as a person outside of the country coming in and getting a residency versus just someone that lives here and renting a house. I don't know that.
Yeah, I know I had seen somewhere where it said something about also if they were non-domiciled, and just a couple things that I would say. Okay, if your CDL matches your home, that's one of the requirements that's always been for everybody in the United States. One of the things that I've noticed with truck drivers is, if they go to work for a company, the company makes them have their CDL match their domicile or
Their residence, the state they live in, yeah.
right. And then the other thing is, and again, this is just me. I'm going to say this. If you can't speak English, I don't 100% think you should have a CDL or even a regular driver's license in the United States, because if you can't speak English, how do you read all the signs? You know what I mean? That are in towns and areas, especially for safety. How do you read all that? So the other thing is, a lot of people, when it comes to citizenship in the United States, all right, the ones that came here legally, and again, I don't have a problem with people coming here. We all have come from somewhere. But the ones that have come here legally and went through the whole process to become a citizen, they are the ones that are more upset, because they're allowing a lot of people to come in and obtain, privileges. They always say driving is a privilege. Okay. All right. So the privilege of driving without actually, getting a full citizenship, and then also getting a course in understanding our language in the United States. And, some people might write in and be pissed off at me saying this, but I'm a believer in, if you're going to drive in the United States, you should understand the language and you should be a citizen. That's what I would say. Again, I'm not in any ways hateful to anybody that's coming in, because, we all, like I said, came from somewhere. But at the same time, if you look at the industry right now with trucking, there's a lot of truck drivers that can't find work.
Right.
And so, you're bringing in a bunch of people out of the country and they're getting CDLs, and there's already enough drivers that are looking for work to begin with here in the U.S. So I would say personally that I don't know. I'd have to see more of it to see if I agree or disagree, but I definitely disagree with, changing the rules for people like that when everybody else had different rules to obtain what they have.
Well, yeah, and not only that, but like you said, companies required the CDL to match the address of where they're taking their home time, where they're applying from. So first of all, Oregon's a very difficult, as far as I know, area to work out of, because it's in the far northwest quadrant of the United States. So I don't know how much freight goes in and out of that specific area. Cargo containers, maybe. I don't know that stuff, because I don't know anything about Oregon. But to take what few jobs might be there for CDL holders of the United States and give them to people that are out of the area that don't have the the documentation that everybody else needed, I think that would really stir up a big hornet's nest of drivers that are like, what about us?
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Again, like I said, I before you pansies with the weak feelings write into me and say I'm being cruel. I'm not being cruel. I'm 100% pro United States of America, USA to me, okay? And I'm also for you if you want to come here and join the United States legally and be a citizen. I'm fine with that, Ruthann, okay? But I'm not okay with somebody just coming into the country and having a different set of rules than the rest of us. That's what I'm not for. I mean that sincerely. So we'll see how this unfolds and if other states start doing it, and we'll just move on. Moving on. Let's move on. I wanted to talk today about truckers getting hurt around truck stops. It's just basically in the industry. I had seen an article on, I'm going to read a little bit of it. It's an article about a trucker that got run over at a truck stop. Okay. He basically I guess he got done fueling. It says, here's what it says. A truck driver nearly dies. It happened just a couple weeks ago at a Love's truck stop. It says a trucker's life was saved by a police officer after he was run over in a Love's parking lot one evening. It says the accident happened, it was like the first week of September, so it happened 2 weeks ago. And it was at 6 p.m. at the LaSalle County in Illinois. All right. It says a 66-year-old truck driver from Texas was walking into the store to pay for fuel when he was struck and run over by another semi-truck. The article says police were called and a deputy who arrived on the scene was able to apply tourniquet to the driver's legs before first responders could arrive. The trucker sustained serious injury to both legs. Well, getting run over by a tractor trailer, you're gonna get injury. Okay? And this is what saved the man's life, they're saying. The trucker was flown to a hospital, treated for his injuries, and is expected to survive in the industry. So I was thinking to myself, do you know how when you're walking in Walmart, right? Like, especially here in Florida, do people stop and even look at the cars coming? Or
No.
what's
They
that?
just walk right out.
They just walk right out. And, you know, you and I, we make sure we stop for people that are going to be walking, but not everybody does. I've seen plenty of times where somebody almost gets run over by a young girl driving, or maybe somebody elderly, whatever the case is, somebody trying to barrel through the parking lot, and people will just walk out like, what's on their mind? Go ahead, hit me. Right? I'll what?
Sue.
I'll sue you. Well, you can, and I don't know that that's what happened to this trucker. He might have been texting and walking. You know, he might have just walked out, and the trucker that was driving literally thought he was going to stop, and they just never seen him. Right?
Right.
And so, you know, whether you're looking to sue somebody or not, what do you think is on your mind when you're laying in the hospital in that kind of pain?
I hope I survive it.
Exactly. You're not thinking sue. You're thinking, ouch, this hurts. This sucks. So I started looking up some things about, you know, truckers and getting hurt around truck stops. And I seen this one article. Listen to this. It's interesting how it says, what do you think the number? Well, here, let me just give you this. It says falls, Falls, from height are the third leading cause of truck driver injuries. Following, are you ready? Overexertion. Exactly. And or regular accidents. Okay. Most fall incidents occur when the driver exits the cab. 37% of truckers that get hurt in a fall from their rig, it's when they're getting out of the truck.
Misplacing that foot when they go to step down.
Right. Well, you know, one of the things that I was thinking, especially if you're up north in the winter and you're climbing in and out of your truck, you could tend to drag ice or snow in there. And when you go to get out, that could make you slip. It says, the other thing is it says conducts a vehicle inspection, maintenance, and repairs. That's another, like somebody maybe he's up on the catwalk or whatever, and he slips off. 18% of that. And then he said, the article says 14% of injuries from falling are when they're unloading cargo.
Yeah, that's how when you first said it, that's what, honestly, I was thinking tarping, strapping, that kind of stuff. To me, that's what I thought. I didn't think of getting out of the tractor, that being the first portion of it. It didn't associate my mind first.
Well, no, and you're right. Here's what it says. It says drivers most often fall from the cab of the front steps, followed by falls from freight trailers and flatbed decks. Like you just said, 1 in 3 fall incidences occurs between 9 a.m. and noon. That's probably when most deliveries are.
Yeah.
It says, not surprisingly, the chance of a fall increases when work surfaces are wet or covered with snow, ice, mud, or grease. And then it says, the solution is always wear suitable safety footwear and good support and slip-resistant shoes. If it's your first time driving the truck, take a few moments to learn the placements of the handholds, steps, and handrails. Then it says, always use the 3-point turn the 3 points of contact. This means keeping 2 hands and 1 foot and 1 hand on the vehicle or equipment at all times. Always face the truck and keep your weight evenly distributed among 3 points of contact. Now, I'll be honest with you, when I used to get out of my truck when I was a young guy, I would grab the rail and just do a spin down jump.
I was going to say, you just like jumped kind of like you did that doop.
Right. I would grab the rail and just kind of just hook myself, in a spin and just slide down.
Like a fireman thing.
Right. That's like an OSHA no.
Definitely.
It says only break 3 points of contact when your truck or equipment when you safely reach the ground and secure the platform. Remember to climb up and down. Never rush this process, no matter what the delivery pressures might be. And that's another one. Okay, I just got a door. I got to hurry up. I got to get back in there, and I'm running late, right? And what they're saying there is, listen, guys, just stop. Make yourself slow down.
I agree, because how many times have you gone to step on something and your foot slips and your shin makes contact with that metal?
That sucks.
That hurts. You got like that big old knotted bruise, sometimes a big gash, and you're bleeding, and then it's like your funny bone when you hit it. So now you're like, you can't step, you can't do a thing, and all you want to do is just sit there and cry at first, because I don't care how much of a manly man you are, you smack that shin and it's gashing. You're angry because you made that stupid mistake. At least I get that way. I'm like, man, why didn't I just step right? But you're like, oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Because now you got to step pressure on that. And now you're going, oh my gosh. So I'm sorry, manly man with the beard down to your chest, and you've got the slick do, and you got the tats going up your arms. It hurts.
Okay.
And you could wipe them tears out your eyes, because I know.
Leave it to Ruth Ann to bring up the shin thing.
The shin.
I never even thought of the shin incident. How many times have I ripped my shin or smacked it? Oh, I'll tell you what, on like a tow hitch or something stupid.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
The back of a truck.
But you're so right, the shin thing. And manly man? I mean, come on now. Manly man. There is no manly man when you're holding your shin, is there?
No, it's like hitting your baby toe. I don't care. That's the baby toe you just annihilated, now it's hitting crooked.
Now you got me thinking of the pain in my baby toe. But no, you're right. It's terrible. And it just comes down to one thing. Take your time. Right? I mean,
exactly.
Honestly, like it just said, don't leave go of the rails until you're on the ground. I'll tell you what, I've seen guys climb down because they park beside a sheet of ice, climb down, and as they're leaving go of the rail, they smack their face off their own steps because their feet just slide right out from under them.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Be careful of where you park. Make sure when you get out, or drivers should carry like either a bucket, a little pail of salt, or ashes, especially for that reason. When you're getting out of your truck, you might have, maybe there's only one truck parking space available and you're up north and you're going to get out and it's like, whoa, I could wipe out here when I step down. Maybe toss down a handful of ashes onto that to where you now have something to grip onto with your feet.
Ashes are yes, very good when you're in the area and you know what ashes are. But if you're a person that doesn't actually get a grip on that, cat litter is also a good thing. You don't have to use the used stuff.
I was just going to say that.
Don't be silly.
Don't take the used stuff.
Just get a cheap bag of standard cat litter, and you can keep it right there and have it ready for you when you're in an icy area. And like Troy said, just throw a handful out, have a little scooper in there. Some of those containers have that, like it's a little bucket and you could get the scoop in there, toss it out, save yourself.
I know somebody at one time, their toilet was out and they went in their own cat litter, for real. I'm not joking. When I was a little kid, I won't say who it was. That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
They took a dump in their own cat litter. Yeah. But anyway, so going back.
Yeah.
It says here, take your time, clean or clear out the work areas of your truck and trailer, report unsafe work environments or the existence of other workplace hazard to your dispatcher or supervisor. And, sometimes that covers your butt. You say to somebody, you're pulling into a lot, and let your dispatcher know, hey, guys, I'm just letting you guys know, it is pure slick ice out there, okay? And I'm letting you know ahead of time, okay? And then take the fall and sue them. I'm kidding. So anyways, I wrote a few things down when it comes to this. And I just want to make a few mentions, a couple honorable mentions on this. Here's I already mentioned how people just walk out in front of you. Do yourself a favor when you're walking in a parking lot. This is my advice. Put your phone down, okay? And make sure that the truckers or somebody's going to stop before you walk out in front of them, okay? Pay attention.
You could also get like one of those vests, the reflective ones, especially at night. Put one of those suckers on.
Well, yeah, and I see people wearing them, but I would also reiterate, make sure people are going to stop before you keep walking.
Hey, it's smart.
Listen, not everybody purposely runs you over. The guy driving in the parking lot might be texting and driving, and there you are walking out in front of him thinking, go ahead, hit me, I'll sue you, and he don't even know he's about to run you over.
Well, I mean, honestly, when you're leaving a parking lot, what's one of the first things you're looking for? Which way do I turn? They could be looking down at their GPS and not really noticing that you just stepped out in front of them because they're looking to see which way they're going to turn once they get to the street.
There's a lot going on, and if somebody's barreling through a truck stop, most likely they're not paying attention as good as they are. Here's something else where people get hurt at the workplace, Ruth Ann, is on the docks. There's people that get run over by forklifts every year because they literally will walk behind a forklift guy while he's moving around. In fact, most of these places have rules where you're not supposed to be in those areas, but there's a lot of trucking companies have it set up where you're unloading the trailer. And therefore, the forklift guy, he can be dangerous. He could be a new forklift driver for all you know. He's not even a freaking pro. Do yourself a favor. Be careful on these docks. I've seen truckers pull out and hurt forklift drivers because they pulled out without getting the green light, and the forklift guy falls down onto the ground with the forklift. So be really careful there. I told you the story before about when I was at Bevico, which was like a U.S. Foods in Pittston, Pennsylvania, and the guy that was driving, I won't say the name of the trucking company, but they have red trucks, and they're one of the biggest reefer units in the United States, okay? The guy literally told his wife to get out and shut the doors when they pulled forward, all right, while he was doing his logs at his steering wheel, and he didn't hold the brake down, and it literally, he didn't realize it, and he drifted back and crushed her to death. And when he got done his logs, he realized, where's my wife? And he went back, and there she was, pinned against the dock. And I went there the next day, and the truck had, the police tape around it and all that other good stuff. And they told me the story, what had happened. It was in the news in Pennsylvania. This is going back 30 years. But I'll tell you, this is just some of the not paying attention. I'll tell you what, truthfully, most accidents are going to be because you didn't pay attention. Mm-hmm. All right?
Most definitely.
So guys and gals, do yourselves a favor. Be familiar with your truck. You know what else I was reading? I didn't see it in there. They were talking about don't grab onto the steering wheel to pull yourself up unless the manufacturer suggests or allows it. You're not supposed to use your steering wheel. How many guys use their steering wheel to pull themselves up?
I'm sure a lot of them would.
Yeah, I know. I did.
The little arm rest, some of the arm rests, you use that to pull. Sometimes grab that to help give yourself that leverage. And there's lots of stuff that you end up using.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. How many people, okay, I'm going to throw my garbage away, so now they're going to go out and do the one-handed grab, right? Mm-hmm. And to get down, and they end up wiping out there too. Guys, if you're going to get down out of your truck, put that stuff on the floor, okay, to where you can reach it once you're safely on the ground. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of guys might think, well, I've been doing this for a long time there, Junior, and I know what I'm doing. Well, a lot of time that guy ends up in the hospital with a broken neck.
Yeah, because you get older and you lose your balance easier.
It's just like my dad. Just a quick story. My dad, the other day, we go and we're like, Dad, you can't stay here during the storm. You're in the flood zone. And what was his reaction? I ain't going nowhere. I've been here for 40 years in Florida, and I've never seen much water in my yard. I'm like, Dad, but there's always the storm that's going to be worse than the record-breaking storm that does come to you. How many people, you know what I mean? And it's just like the truck driver getting in and out of his truck for the last 20 years. There's always that moment where your mind is somewhere else, or you slip, and boom, you do wipe out. Okay, be careful, all right? Be careful to where, like you said earlier, you don't have to be laying in the hospital with a broken neck going, why didn't I just do it the right way? The 1 second to 2 second, grab onto the rail and step down carefully, take my time way.
Yeah, I mean, well, as we get older, I mean, we all have to now experience our knees are hurting, or our back's hurting, or some of us have arthritis in our hands. You know, there's things that happen as you get older. So even if you've been doing it for years, there's going to be a consequence that, you know, is going to come with your body aging, that you cannot perform it the same exact way you used to 10, 15, 8 years ago, whatever the case might be.
Yeah. So anyways, that's my podcast for the week. Do you have the word of the day, Miss Ruth Ann?
I do.
Oh, by the way, guys, well, no, I was going to say we're starting to build up our YouTube channel. So if you're interested, follow us on that YouTube channel. We only have about 10,000 people. Well, actually, we only have like 90 some hundred. We never really worked on that channel. So now we're trying to work on building the YouTube channel up and bring videos and stuff like that to truck drivers. And watch YouTube, because I'm going to make a video for that Ice Pick Bandit dude probably today yet. Ruth Ann, word of the day.
Word of the day.
What do you got?
Cataract.
Cataract?
Mm-hmm. Cataract.
Oh, I can make jokes about that one, but that's my cataract.
And, well, I mean, it's a cataract.
What kind of car were you driving? A cataract? No. So is it really like cataract, like the thing in your eye?
That's one of the definitions, yes. A medical condition in which the lens of the eye becomes progressively opaque, resulting in blurred vision. That is the second definition. There's actually a first definition for it.
What is it?
A large waterfall, a sudden rush of water, a downpour.
Interesting. So, like, if somebody says, wow, there's a cataract.
Exactly.
Wow, that's interesting.
I thought so.
I think it is. I never realized that.
No, I'm going to die.
All right, we're out of here.
Peace.
Peace. Praise the Lord.